for a few minutes here at the 2023 Worldwide Technology Championship. First tournament back since June. We talked a little bit about on the way in about the injury. If you could just kind of run us through kind of the Cliff Notes version of the injury and then just how you're feeling as you're about to start back on the PGA Tour.
Yes, this is the second round at Pebble at the AT&T this year. I think there was a long wait on the 7th tee and made kind of a funny swing and ended up, I guess what happened is I tore the ligament that connects the collarbone to your sternum, the sternoclavicular joint, SC joint, and it just got progressively worse that day. I tried to play through it for a few months and it just wasn't getting better, and took some time off. The main treatment I got, aside from physical therapy and training, was like I had a PRP injection, and then otherwise was just mostly changing some golf swing mechanics to try and take pressure off that area because it was the golf swing in the first place that hurt it. So,
and at what point did you decide that this would be the good week to start back? And was there a little bit of trepidation, a little bit of anxiety about trying to get back into competition?
There was a little bit. I would say I was dreaming of coming back at Napa, but physically that wasn't going to be the right move. And then I was hoping to play Shriners, which would be my home tournament 10 minutes down the road, but unfortunately that week would have made it a minor medical versus waiting one more week for the major medical, and I'm sure everyone knows how that works, but just the kind of uncertainty. I'm 121st in the FedEx Cup right now. I don't know if my number is good enough to hold up, and I don't want to leave it up to chance to maybe not be able to get all the events to start the beginning of 2024. So it was a hard business decision to not play Shriners, but I knew that Worldwide Technology was going to be an event I could play. I'll probably have somewhere around 11 events on this medical, so probably no more than 20 points needed over those 11 events, and I always play well in Mexico, and I was really excited to get back out here. It feels like 2 events that I can kind of ease my way, get back into the routine, see where my body and my game are at, and then hit the 2024 season running.
I did want to note the success you've had at this event, obviously not here, but you've finished, I think, top 15 in each of your previous starts when it was Mayakoba. What is it about golf in Mexico that you think suits your game so well? And part 2 of that is how much have you had a chance to see the course here?
I think I've had a good track record in international events, partly because of my attitude. Starting back on the Korn Ferry Tour, things are just different, but you have to be adaptable to a different routine. I can speak Spanish, so that's always fun. I look at that as a bonus that I can practice my Spanish these a couple weeks. Love the food. I joke that I eat Chipotle half the time when I'm on the road back home, so this is just a more authentic version. And I think this is going to be a good golf course for me this week. I just finished the other 9 this morning. I tend to play well on courses that have a lot of bowls where don't have to, it's just not really a closest to the pin contest. You can think about where you're aiming, where you're trying to leave the ball. My first impressions are that it's not very tight off the tee. It's very wide, but if you miss, it's a severe penalty. You don't need to murder the ball. Playing it 290 off the tee, 300 off the tee is going to be just fine. And then you really have to think about where you leave the ball into the greens. There's one side that's obviously not okay. And you kind of see a lot of parallels between the way Tiger plays golf and the way he designed this golf course. Is you have to think about it, play smart. It's it's a quintessential second shot golf course, and don't short side.
Okay. If anybody has questions, just let me know, and I've got a few more, but Mav, I know you got your pilot stuff, so just talk about how exciting that is. Why not Mexico yourself?
So I did get my pilot's license, and I actually got my instrument rating as well. So I got my pilot's license the week after Vedanta, and then got my instrument rating, I think in August, I want to say, August, something like that. And it's just been a lot of fun. I'm looking at it as in something I don't want to add stress to my life. It's something that I enjoy and love doing. So I would never put undue pressure on making a trip for weather reasons, flying into new, uncomfortable, complicated airspace, whatever it is. It's something that if I haven't flown for a month and a half, I'm just going to go rent a plane, go up with an instructor, and use it as a fun afternoon, which is what I did a couple weeks ago. Since I've been back to full power, I've been not flying as much and practicing and playing a lot more golf, so it was kind of a nice break where I could actually knock out a lot of those instrument hours necessary to get that done. I still study and read up on different knowledge things that I might need, and it's a fun release away from golf, but it's been all golf lately. I may, depending on the weather, fly to a couple West Coast events, but it gets expensive renting a plane for extended periods of time. I'll be back and forth between Vegas and Palm Springs quite a bit, seeing my family down there this off season, just chasing some better weather and using it as something that's fun, something that helps find better practice and playing conditions for golf. But that's really what it is right now. It's a hobby. It's not really a means to an end.
Go ahead.
I have I've been planning to get in touch with Morgan, actually. He's been busy getting back into it too, but the plane that he flew, the Piper, is a really, really cool airplane. It's a little bit more complex than the one I'm flying right now. I'm flying a Cirrus SR-20, and but that plane would be one that would actually make it more feasible to fly to a lot of tournaments. It's pressurized, can fly higher, farther, carry more passengers. The Cirrus plane is great for me to be learning on, and all the trips around the Southwest. But if I wanted to start going farther east, would probably need something a little bit bigger. But again, I don't know if I'm quite ready to make an irresponsible financial decision of that magnitude. So a couple of tournament wins, that might change my mind.
I've just got two more questions, and then we'll cut you loose. First of all, it was interesting what you said on the up top about how being away from the tour and being back, you didn't realize how much you'd actually missed the camaraderie and the people. What kind of reception have you gotten so far? I know you probably haven't been on the ground much and seen a lot of people, but just in the minute or two we were up there, I had a couple of people welcome you back. How cool is that and being a part of the tour? This is obviously such a good family.
It's great. I think being away from the tour has made me realize all the things that I love and missed about it, and it's really easy to get caught up in the FedEx Cup rankings and trying to make the playoffs, trying to hit a certain world ranking and working on your game, stressing about all these different things. And it's, at least for me, I kind of lost sight of the fact that it's just really, really cool to be on the PGA Tour and be a PGA Tour player. And this is the greatest job on the planet. And sitting out for 4 months made me really realize that I missed the travel. Not that I love sitting in airport terminals for a layover, but I love seeing different parts of the world and the country and eating different foods, meeting different people, hanging out with 50 of the best golfers on the planet and playing practice rounds and $5 birdie games with those guys, testing myself, pushing myself. I love being outside for 6 to 8 hours a day. I love the fact that we get to walk 50 miles. I mean, this is what people do for recreation, and we get to do it for a job. So, and then I'm really excited to hit golf shots that matter, like really matter and really count, and test myself and play that way. So it just put things in perspective for me. It's so cliche that you don't realize what you had until you don't have it. And you always think about it. Your years on the PGA Tour are limited, and how do I want to spend them? And I'm just going to love being here.
That's fantastic. The only thing you left out was being able to sit here next to me.
It's just a complete, total honor. Total honor.
I'll let it slide this time. Last question. May not be one you have an answer to, but what would you consider a success this week?
I had 3 goals for this week. First one was just enjoy it, because it's something I haven't gotten to do for a while. Second goal was to be smart about my body. I think once the adrenaline gets pumping, it's going to be really easy to want to swing 110% at it. And looking at this as a challenge to learn how to play at 90% and just develop different types of shots, think my way around the golf course a little bit more than just swinging as hard as I can. And the ball's going a lot straighter, so that's been fun. And then my third goal this week is just not be too hard on myself, because I haven't done this routine for 5 months, and you never know golf could happen. But just if I get out of my routine or things aren't quite as sharp, just give myself plenty of time to get back into it and get back to full sharpness. I've been working extremely hard at home, and obviously have really high standards that I'm going to hold myself to this week, but just going to go out there, do my best, and have fun. It's, again, so cliche, but a little bit of time off gives you that perspective.
Absolutely. Okay, any other questions? Everybody good? All right. Well, Matt, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We always appreciate it.